Yeah. It's RC's A-list today. And you know how my dog walk. You see how he be walking to the building. All I need is Juvie walking in front of me right now. You know how Stephen A. gets to number 5. And at number 5, we going to the New York Giants and Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely, a lot of people don't know just how talented this dude is because he was behind Mark Andrews. He's tall. He's a mismatch. And now you pair him with Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo when he's healthy. And think about this. They also go out and get Patrick Ricard. John Harbaugh is building his offense around his young quarterback. And one of those big pieces is going to be Isaiah Likely. Now let's go to number 4. And I know this isn't sexy and it's not fluid, right? When you go fluid, it looks like an hourglass. This dude ain't built like an hourglass. Tyler Lindenbaum. Tyler Lindenbaum is now the starting center of the Las Vegas Raiders. This is what you need when you have an Ashton Jeanty who was hit behind the line of scrimmage more than anybody. And if you decide to get Fernando Mendoza with the number 1 overall pick, Tyler Lindenbaum is someone who can set the protection, someone who can do the communication and protect your new young franchise quarterback. Now we're going to move to number 3. We're going to move to number 3. And I move like that because it's the Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker III. You know what people haven't been talking about? You know who's back coordinating the offense for the Kansas City Chiefs? You know who's back holding people accountable? Eric Bieniemy is. And Eric Bieniemy is about the run game. Kenneth Walker is about explosive runs. And now, when Patrick Mahomes is healthy, he doesn't have to do it all. Do you know who's been the leading rusher since Patrick Mahomes has been there? Patrick Mahomes, and now you have Kenneth Walker III coming off of a Super Bowl MVP. At number 2, I'm going Malik Willis. Now, many might say, why is it Malik Willis, Ryan? He's only started 6 games, Ryan. Well, first off, it's Malik Willis because it's no longer Tua Tagovailoa. That's first and foremost. And secondly, Malik Willis is a guy that's a dual threat quarterback. We saw his passing ascension against the Baltimore Ravens, and you also signed him to a team-friendly deal. So if it doesn't work out, if he isn't the guy going forward, you have not handicapped your team. And at number 1, unveil it. It's Trey Hendrickson. And I know Stephen A's probably over there in his Raven suit, by the way, being like, but it's dishonorable. It's distrustful. Who cares? Make the right call. Trey Hendrickson, 23 and 24, 35 sacks, led the NFL over that time, only 31 years old. And guess what else they got to do? Keep their 2 first-round picks for 26 and 27. So now we can either add more people to the team around Lamar Jackson, or we can use those assets to bring in other top-notch veterans.
Oh, I like this, Ryan. My only thing, where's DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills? I'm shocked you didn't have him on here.
I didn't love it.
You didn't love it?
I think it's good. I think DJ Moore adds to what that team does, but I don't think it makes the difference that these players here will have to make, because if you look at the Buffalo Bills, they were already on the cuffs. Now that may be a move that helps them get over the top in helping Josh Allen.
All right, Trey Hendrickson at 1. Would it have been Max Crosby if he was going to the Ravens?
Absolutely.
It would have. It wouldn't have mattered. Stephen A., what do you think about this A-list?
I don't think it's an A. I don't think it's an A. I will tell you that it's an A in terms of the people you picked. I don't like the order.
What do you mean?
I'll leave likely at 5.
Okay.
I'd put Malik Willis at 4. I think Lindenbaum should be as high as listen. I'm sorry. I think Lindenbaum should be as high as 3 because obviously you got to start somewhere if you're the Vegas Raiders. I put him at 3, okay? And then when you talk about Trey Hendrickson and Kenneth Walker, I'd move Trey Hendrickson down to 2, and I'd put Kenneth Walker at number 1. Here's why. Because everything has been about Patrick Mahomes. Like you said, who's led him in rushing? Yep. It's Patrick Mahomes. Anything that you can do to assist and uplift and upgrade the great Patrick Mahomes puts you in a position to be unleashed and to remind us of what the Kansas City Chiefs used to be until they faded over the last couple of years. You get yourself a running game with Travis Kelce electing to come back, with Rashee Rice and Worthy and the crew there, with Bieniemy calling plays to some degree, assisting Andy Reid, obviously. I think Kenneth Walker, the third, showing his versatility both as a runner and a pass catcher, is going to prove to be very, very big for Kansas City, who I expect will ascend, and it will be at the expense of the Denver Broncos or the Los Angeles Chargers. That's how big I think that move could be.
I accept
thought
that.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire was going to kind of be that person, and it never really panned out. So instead of going through the draft, they go through free agency. They get a sure thing. I agree. People don't realize since Patrick Mahomes took over as the starter, he's been the leading rusher for that team every year. It's crazy. It's a crazy stat. I give your list an A, right? I don't know. Stephen A's not here.
Yeah, he hates.
But you did good. You did good. You did good. It's a B+. It's a B+.
B+.
That's, hey, coming from you, I accept that, OG. I got you.
Hey, B+ are good. That's maybe my average in college. All right, coming up, Caitlin.
Dominique, give us one big winner from this week.
Oh, it's the Rams. They understand the most important position on the field is cornerback, and they went ahead and traded to get McDuffie. They got his partner in Watson. They reloaded that secondary in a way. I think it's important to understand that these cornerbacks work together in Kansas City, and they complement each other. McDuffie's a little bit on the small side and plays great in the slot. I think Watson can take care of the outside. This team got so much better.
And I also know, but this is the Rams addressing an immediate need.
Yeah.
You saw what you were able to do offensively against the Seattle Seahawks in the AFC Championship, and you were beat on the outside. They won't let that happen again.
There was a time, this is many years ago, where you did a bit on our show where you did the Dylon thing, and you said the Rams. Are the Rams, in your opinion, clearly the best team in the NFL now coming out of what we have seen?
You know what? In my opinion, they are. I think last year, in many ways, they were the best team, but this was the Achilles heel of the Los Angeles Rams, and you saw it start to evolve over the second half of the season, eventually biting them in the butt in the NFC Championship.
All right, so that's a winner. Graz, how about the other side? How about someone who's not done so well so far?
Well, the Browns haven't done much. They overhauled their offensive line, which they needed to do, but, you know, jury's obviously out on how well that has gone, but it just doesn't feel like a team that was in a position to completely sit out quarterback this offseason. I mean, maybe they saw enough from Shadur Sanders late in the season that they want to run him back out there, but certainly you can't feel certain about what he's going to be. And Deshaun Watson's still on the team. They restructure again. Huge dead money hit coming when they eventually release him next year. But you know, or when his contract expires. But I just feel like that was a team that should have been a little more aggressive at the quarterback position.
That feels like a team that's doing kind of what you suggested, RC, that the Steelers do. You take a shot. It's not tanking. It's let's see if Shadur maybe surprises us and is terrific. And if he isn't, then we're where we want to be
Absolutely.
next year.
You go out and you get Todd Monken. This can't be one of those things where where you don't give Todd Monken an opportunity to implement his program and his culture into Cleveland. And if you watch Shadur Sanders over the back end of the season and you think that there is some upside there to work alongside Todd Monken, who, at least if he's not the greatest actor in the world, seems excited to work with Shadur Sanders, I believe you give that a year. I think, but for Graziano as well, for what Graz is saying, I would also like to have seen them just be more active in building a team around
some wide receivers, right?
Yes.
If you want to see the best of him, build it out around him a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, that brings to mind what direction they're headed will determine something. And I understand the Garrett contract is huge, but like we get later down the road, if you're looking at what the Raiders tried to do with Max Crosby,
I was going to say,
you know who they will not change their mind on the trade about? Nobody, and the Ravens won't be in there because they're in the division. Yeah. But they'll give you the team. Yeah, ownership. Every team would be so anxious, to go ahead and bring Myles Garrett on the team. I know we're not there yet, but it does seem like that's the direction that
Listen, there's a point in that song where he'd lose the words and Genuine just say, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's exactly how the teams would be acting if Myles Garrett was on the
Okay, and RC, give us one more winner because this one is an individual and it gets us where we need to go.
Well, to me, it's Trey Hendrickson, right? Trey Hendrickson was a guy that set out of camp or set in camp last year. He was a dude that he was playing at a defensive player of the year level and couldn't get a deal done. And now you go from Cincinnati, who hasn't found ways to win, to be in Baltimore with a winning culture, with a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, with people like Kyle Hamilton on your side of the football, and you also got that bag. For Trey Hendrickson, you are the winner far and away. And not only do you go to a team that gave you the money, you go to a team that still has their first-round pick in this draft.
Yeah, and they have issues with an interior to offensive line they can address. Maybe they could use another weapon, losing likely. But I think the huge thing for the Ravens, we talked about the trickle-down effect of having a rush in like they would have with Max Crosby. You still get a lot of that. The Ravens defense is incredibly talented, but because pass rusher is the most important position, they have to contort their defense in a way that compromises other parts in order to get pressure. Now, we don't got to blitz Kyle Hamilton if we don't want to. Yeah. Now, we know that you're going to be sliding your line to wherever Trey is, and we can blitz off the other side. We don't have to send guys all the time. So it puts them in a position to have more flexibility than they had last year.
And you can tell based on their actions that they agreed with because they were willing to trade 2 first-round picks for one, and they're willing to commit $28 million a year to a 31-year-old edge rusher. They know, they can't pretend anymore. Oh, we'll scheme it up. We'll get we'll shop in the bargain bin. They needed a dominator.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talk, obviously.